What's going on, gamers? It is I, ya boy. Welcome back to another video. Before I get into this video, I do want to say I appreciate everyone who enjoyed my last video, the from one passionate guardian to another. That was my Destiny 2 discussion video of what I thought needed to change or needed to be implemented into Destiny 2. So I appreciate all the love and support on that video. I just want to say that before we get into this video. So you may be wondering why I'm making this video right now. So I have two new friends to Destiny 2, to the franchise, and I am kind of like making sure they're, you know, on the right path to grinding, what they should be doing, what exotics they should be going for, and I came up with this video. So if you are a new light player and you came in from when it was free, you have the first two expansions, pretty much all of year one. So these are the exotics that are still used in year 3. So we're gonna start out with armor. So exotic armor that is year 1 but is also still used today in year 3. So we're gonna go down the list, and Titan, Hunter, and Warlock, and we're just gonna leave it like that. And next video will be exotic weapons that are from year 1 that are still being used in year 3. So for Titan armor, year 1, you know it's year 1 when it's either has no emblem on the top left, or it has either the eye, which is the Curse of Osiris, or this little I don't even know what to call that. This little T looking thing. It pretty much signifies that this is from the Warmind expansion. So let's get into it. So for Titans, an Insurmountable Skullfort, it's a very good exotic that's still being used in PvP today. So the intrinsic perk is Transfusion Matrix. Killed with arc melee abilities, trigger health regeneration and restore melee energy. So this exotic is great if you pair it with either top or bottom tree. So this is great if you pair it with top or bottom tree Striker Titan, which is the arc. So you may think, oh well, I mean that's kind of so this exotic is great if you pair it with top or bottom tree arc striker, which is the arc subclass of Titan. Top tree, you can either shoulder charge, which is I'll put up a image or a gif on the screen of what that looks like. Seismic Strike is pretty much the arc version of a melting point, which is the solar variant of this, and it also the melting point is a shoulder charge just like Seismic Strike, but it's a debuff. It adds I believe it's a 30% debuff as a melting point. I'm pretty sure they balance all the debuffs and buffs, so it's you know, normal, or it's balanced. So with bottom tree, Frontal Assault and Knockout would be amazing to pair this with. So critically wounding or an enemy or breaking their shield increase your melee range and damage. So if you pair that with Thunder Coil and the Skullfort, so when you get a kill with this, you trigger health regen and restore melee energy, and you can just keep punching and fun. So another Titan exotic that's year 1 that's still being used in year 3. Right down the list would be Helm of Saint-14. This is the best PvE Titan exotic you can have. So the intrinsic perk is Starless Night. Enemies that enter Pauldron are blinded, while allies that pass through gain an overshield. Guarding with Sentinel Shield blinds nearby enemies. So with this exotic, when you go into the bubble, which is top tree Void of Dawn, when super energy is full, create an indestructible dome to protect you and your allies. Passing through Water Dawn grants you and your allies a temporary increase to weapon damage. So the buff timer for this is 15 seconds. You can refresh in and out. If you're at 1 or 0 of your weapons of light, that's the damage buff, you can pass right back through and get your 15-second damage increase. So for Helm of Saint-14, For enemies, they are blinded and cannot hit you with this helmet on, and if it's a teammate that's passing through and they exit out of the bubble, they will still have their overshield. This is great for PvE. This is no doubt the best PvE exotic for Titans, and it's a year 1 exotic, and it's still being used in year 3. So the next Titan exotic is Eternal Warrior, which is from the Warmind expansion. The intrinsic perk is Resolute, gains an overshield when activating Fist of Havoc, so that is once again a arc. So Fist of Havoc, pairing that with Bottom Tree, destroying enemies with Fist of Havoc extends its duration, and when you cast it you also get an overshield, so it's harder to die when you're in the super. Since Bungie fixed how the supers are, you take more damage, there's not a lot of overshield anymore, so like you can actually die when you're in your super a lot more. It's actually normal to get 1, maybe 2 kills and then die with your super if you're maybe not good with it or whatever. So you can see this is actually really good in the current super sandbox, since it's actually kind of common to die within a super or die while casting a super. So when you pop Fist of Havoc, you actually get an overshield, and it's very helpful to the user that's using this. So the next year 1 exotic that is still being used, or is actually really good in year 3, is Doom Fang Pauldrons. The intrinsic perk is Horns of Doom. Void melee kills give super energy, while Sentinel Shield is active. Melee kills recharge shield throw, which extends your super on hits. So if you pair this with Bottom Tree Sentinel, you'll actually gain a second shield. So this would be very good with that build. So another great Titan exotic that's still being used in year 3 is Synthoceps, which the intrinsic exotic perk is Bionic Enhancements. Increased melee lunge range, improved melee and super damage when you're surrounded. This is very good if you pair this with Thunder Coil and Bottom Tree. Knockout increases your melee range and damage. So when you pair that with Synthoceps, you get a lot of extra range, and plus the knockout from the bonus melee damage. So it's very, very good in year 3. So going along with another melee exotic, this is Wormgod Caress. The intrinsic perk is Burning Fists. Melee kills increase melee damage for a short period of time. Additional kills extend duration and increase effects. So melee kills you get and you rack up, the more damage your melees will do, and it also extends the duration. So this is very good for year 3. The next exotic Titan armor is Crest of Alpha Lupi. The intrinsic exotic perk is Survival Well. Generates an additional orb of light from supers and a healing pulse when barricade is activated. So if you don't know what barricade is, it's a towering, there's either two, there's a towering and a rally. Towering creates a large barrier that you can cover and you can side peek in and out of, and rally is a small barrier that increases your reload speed when someone is sitting behind it, and you can peek over aiming down their sights faster. So if you want to be a support Titan, this would be one of the best support Titan armors that you can acquire in year 1. So the next year 1 Titan armor exotic is Hallowfire Heart. The intrinsic perk is Sunfire Furnace. Improve the recharge rate of your solar abilities. Greatly improves recharge rate while your super is charged. So if you don't use your super, your solar abilities recharge faster. Before Helm of Saint-14 and the Ward of Dawn got buffed, or actually just Ward of Dawn got buffed, this was everywhere. This is all you used as a Titan. Back pre-Shadowkeep days when you can actually stack buffs and Melting Point was a great debuff to add, this was the go-to exotic. So if you pair that with, I believe, Top Tree Solar, Hammer Strike while sprinting uses melee ability to swing a blazing hammer that weakens enemies. The weakened enemies is a 30% debuff, and if you pair that with Hallowfire Heart, you'll constantly have an increased rate of your melting point, which that is. Next up for the exotic armor for Titan is Armamentarium. This is still a great exotic for Titans. This is still being used. If you want to run this as a void build, you can do that. The exotic intrinsic perk is and another thing, gain an additional grenade charge. This is fantastic if you pair that with top tree void and the ward of dawn and all this good stuff, and you also pair that with oppressive darkness. Causing damage with a void grenade adds a weaken effect to enemies, so again that's a 30% debuff, and you have 2 of those nades, so that's very good for PvE. Another great exotic for Titan is Lion Rampant. This is an amazing Titan exotic. The exotic intrinsic perk is Jump Jets, provides additional aerial maneuverability and enables accurate hipfire when you are in the air during lift. This is the Titan equivalent to Stompies or Transversive Steps. This is very good for Titans if you want to go the long distances and have more of a stable jump. So the next great exotic for Titan is Peacekeepers. The intrinsic perk is Mechana Holster, reloads stowed submachine guns and allows you to ready them instantly, improves your handling with SMGs and your movement while wielding one. Running rampantly in the game right now. SMGs are kind of meta right now in PvE and PvP, so this is very good if you want to run an SMG build. So the next Titan exotic armor are Dunemarchers. The exotic intrinsic perk is Linear Actuators, increases sprint speed. Sprinting builds up a static charge. After melee attacking an enemy, that charge will chain damage to nearby enemies. This is very good for PvP. This could also be used for PvE, but more on the PvE side. You stack that with, again, bottom tree arc, and this is just a really good build for Titans. And that's it. That's all the year 1 Titan exotics that are really good in year 3. I will also be making a video for Hunter and Warlock exotics. I do have all of the exotics for all 3 classes, so I will be making a video. Tomorrow I'll be making a video on the Hunter year 1 exotics that are still being used in year 3. There's a lot of them. There's really good exotics out there for Hunter that are still being used in year 3. If you guys like this video and are also a new light player, consider subscribing, maybe liking the video. I do put a lot of time in these videos, making sure that you guys know everything there is to know about Destiny 2. I do appreciate you guys for watching and doing all that stuff. Again, I really want to stress, I really do appreciate all of the support on my last video. Appreciate you guys for watching this video, and I will see you guys later.